Welcome to MI Magazine presents Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, mental health, and food. Our weekly guest hosts are Christie Grace Chambers, Carla Hill, Dr. Delvena Thomas, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky, Gelin.
Hello, everybody, and good night. Thank you for tuning in to our show. MIA Magazine presents So. So I'm your host. I am Nicky G. Nicky says YOLO. And I do want to say it's been pretty cold the past couple of days, right? And tonight, I think it's going to be in the 30s tonight. So I just want to say keep warm, but also don't touch the iguanas, okay? Because y'all know when it drop, they be dropping out the trees. So just don't touch the iguanas. Not saying you're going to touch them to begin with, but I'm just saying. So we have a few announcements tonight. Let's get right to it. So our Power Issue nominations are open. So visit miamediagrp.com/nominations to nominate a Black professional in Broward, Miami-Dade, and the Palm Beach counties. Okay. Also, on February 14th, which is also Valentine's Day, our Black History Month issue is being released. So stay tuned for that. Also, please remember to tune into our show, Lunch with Legacy Leaders, hosted by Anne-Marie Serral, every Thursday at 12 noon. So we interview thought leaders on issues impacting the Black community within South Florida. You can watch the show on facebook.com/MIA Media GRP. Now, we have a really special guest tonight. She is a philanthropist, a luxury realtor, and a cast of Love Goals on OWN TV, the wonderful Theresa Bowe. So I'll be speaking to her in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. So I'm going to pass this over to my first co-host. She is the wonderful Christie Grace Chambers. You can catch her on NBC6's Six in the Mix. She is a stylist and personal shopper. So Christie, what's going on tonight?
Hey, Nicky. Hey. Listen, I know you love my green boots. I went outside today. I had a filming to do, and then I went to my husband's office, and I made a couple of other stops, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I love your boots. So I just have to share that. It was nice to be out and get compliments because usually I'm only going to the grocery store, right? So I'm usually in sneakers. So everyone, tonight we're talking about the Super Bowl, talking about going out. I hope everyone plans to stay in and be safe, but hey, that's not up to me to decide or to tell you. But with that in mind, we're going to talk about what you can wear to your in-home Super Bowl watch party. But first, I want to show some highlights from the great Cicely Tyson and her fashion. And just want to show you just how graceful she always looked and how stylish, even into her 90s. So she wore these feathers, this jacquard dress. She wore this floral dress where she won some awards on the next slide. And I love this black and white. It's the accents on the shoulder there. And then finally in this backdrop, may she rest in peace. And I hope she believed, we gave her flowers while still alive. But look how beautiful her hair is and how beautiful she is. So now let's talk about fashion. And when I put this together, I was thinking about what I wanted to wear, number one, and what you may already have in your house, right? So this first look, I'm calling it highly elevated casual. So you could take something like a sweatshirt that Rihanna is wearing, but pair it with some sexy shorts and a heel. So I think that would be a cute look to wear at home to your Super Bowl party with your spouse or your friend or whoever, if you just want to go by yourself. So also think about a dress you may already have in your closet, a casual dress with an elevated casual sneaker. So not so much, your sneakers you might go running in, but something with, like a leopard print or something. So always, if you are going out, always wear a mask. Then another thing you might already have in your closet are some faux leather leggings. I know I've talked about these a lot, or some jeans, right? So you have one or the other. So you start with one of those. Then you add a shirt that's off the shoulder. Always cute, be it a sweater or a a elevated t-shirt. I keep using that word, right? So then you want to either add the cute sneakers again, or like a slide on mule, something very comfortable. And again, if you are going out, wear a mask. And I know we've talked about this before, but this is what I do with my mask. I always put them on a chain, because if you're eating, right, at a Super Bowl party, you can always take it off and put it back. And you don't have to wonder, well, where's my darn mask? It's around your neck. Then finally, this is your ultimate goal, right? For your Super Bowl looks. You want to look like you didn't put too much effort into it, but you also want to look chic, very casual, and very comfortable. So that is my segment for today. What you can wear to your Super Bowl party at home or in your small group without doing too much.
Awesome. Well, Christie, thank you so much. And let me ask, who are you going for, the Bucks or the Chiefs? I have to ask.
Girl, the Chiefs are going to win. Come on now.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So,
Chiefs.
all right, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
And now to our mental health advocate, and she's a host of the Brain Love podcast. So, Dr. Delvena, what do we have going on tonight? I'm a little curious. Let me go ahead and take the couch.
Hey. So yes, you're ready to take the couch. Good evening, Nicky.
Hello.
So, we are about 2 weeks away, a little less than 2 weeks away from Valentine's Day. And so, yes, I'm the queen of Brain Love, discussing all things mental health and wellness. All things.
Okay, I felt that.
Yes. So listen, Valentine's Day is Sweetheart's Day. It's a day to love one and to emphasize and remind your lover, your significant other, that you care about them, or if you don't love them yet, maybe you're early in the relationship. So this is not just for men and what they're doing for women, but also women and what they're doing for their men. So let's not neglect the fellas. I've heard guys say that a lot, that they get neglected on Valentine's Day and the woman is always waiting for the gift. What do you think about that, Nicky? Do we neglect the fellas on Valentine's Day?
I don't think we neglect the fellas. I think it's a courtship kind of a approach, is how I see it. So that's how I see it.
Do you buy gifts for men on Valentine's Day?
That's a good question. I typically don't.
See? So you're in the
rethink this. You're gonna have me kind of rethink this moving forward.
Exactly. We got to be nice to them also. Men complain because they don't get pampered the way that women are pampered. So we have to pamper our men. And if you have a problem with thinking of what to get him, get something that's beneficial to the both of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is beneficial to you and him?
Maybe like a spa day?
A spa day would be a great start, and that's some great foreplay. So, we're going to segue into possible gifts that you can purchase that can be used and both of you are happy. You don't have to think about buying like a Rolex or another wedding band if you're married, but there are gifts you can get that benefit both of you. Starting with, consider getting a mask for him and one for you. You could use them during your spa day. And you can use them in the home when you decide to give him his spa day. So maybe you're not taking him to the spa, especially with COVID. Things
Yeah.
are closed and limited, but you can create a spa day at home for him on Valentine's Day. So consider doing some things, get a mask, and then maybe you can use something like this to tickle him on his skin. The skin is the biggest organ of the body, and so it gets neglected quite often, unfortunately. We neglect our own skin at times because we don't take care of our skin. Men typically don't do a great job washing their faces and don't give facials. But then when you think about the rest of the body, behind the ears, the neck, down the back, down the chest, all of these places, you could run a nice hot bath for him, or enhance a shower with some aromatherapy. They have these little things you can put in the shower and just provide that aroma that will be a nice relaxing vibe, but also a turn on possibly. And when he comes out, you could then use some massage oil that I got from Pure Romance to massage the skin, or just regular lotion. And then actually before doing that, just, use one of these and just kind of take it and go along the skin and just, rub this along the skin before you put on the oil or the lotion. And as you're rubbing in the oil or the lotion, you should always have this, by the way. You never know. You should always have it by the bed in the nightstand. You can rub some on, get one that has a nice fragrance. So that way it smells great to him, smells good to you. And then, ta-da!
Wait. What's that? What am I looking at?
So while he's lying there after you've made him very relaxed, you can use these to tie him up on the bed, just to add an element of surprise. He's not expecting it. It's just something to consider to change up the game in the bedroom is all. It's Valentine's Day, so you just want to be a little clever and do things a little differently. And then I won't go into much detail because there may be children watching, but this is also a great option. Can you read that?
I can read it. Yep.
Yep. So this is a good option. This is pink strawberry because it makes the experience, good for you as well as for him. If you love strawberries, get the great strawberry. If you don't like strawberry, the pink strawberry. If you don't, try a different flavor. Now, this is a goodie bag. Every gal should have a goodie bag. This goodie bag contains things that, will keep situations confidential and private. So the first goodie is a massager. So this is an option. It uses a USB cord. It's just a massager. That's it. So nothing X-rated. It's just a massager. You can get him a massager for Valentine's Day. And this is something that you both can enjoy. That's one thing in the goodie bag. And you just have to keep it in the goodie bag so that way it's unidentifiable. Now, this is the showstopper. This is another massager. But this is a very specific massager. So I know we have to keep things PG-13. So if anyone wants to learn what this type of massager does or will do for you, please feel free to DM me at Dr. Delvena, and I'll share all the details and also how you can acquire it. So basically, ladies and gents who may be watching, Valentine's Day is a great day for us to reciprocate how we feel about one another. It doesn't have to just be dinner or lunch or breakfast, but it can also be all of the things that you want to do at home relaxing. It's COVID-19 right now, so create a spa in your home. Consider checking out some of these gift options.
All right.
These ladies, these companies are on my pages.
All right, so Dr. Delvena, wow, you gave really great V-Day tips tonight. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Brain love.
Brain love. So now join the African American Black Alzheimer's Disease Initiative at the John P. Hussman Institute for Human Genomics, University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. If you are someone that is experiencing loss of memory or memory problems, or if you know someone who has those problems, please contact their research team for more information at 877-686-6444. Again, that's 877-686-6444. And now on to my next co-host. She is a TV host on PBS and also our arts and culture connoisseur, Miss Carla Hill. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. It's hot in here, Dr. Delvena. Ooh, cha.
I'm sweating.
Well, listen, talking about Valentine's Day, but also we're living in these pandemic times, but we still can have beautiful evenings together, beautiful events. And I want to introduce someone that's right here in Miami, Florida, that is making waves around the nation. Black female-owned business. This is Lux Fet, owned by Ms. Natalie Cadet James. And she has been proud to be recognized as a young innovator and one of the people reshaping our future by FedEx Access. They celebrate a generation of innovators on the verge of the next big idea that connect people and possibilities around the world. Natalie has been recognized by Brides Magazine, Harper's Bazaar, Little Black Book of top planners in the world, and the maven of social events, the legend Martha Stewart. You can hire Natalie and her company to do your events, your wedding, your previews, anything. She does it with such class and grace. I want to share a really great idea that she's having. She's thinking really hard about how we can still gather together safely, of course, or creating intimate spaces in your home that still make you feel like it's a special occasion. This is a picture of her dinner in a box that's going to be available March 22nd. There is a pre-launch happening right now, and you'll see her website that's scrolling beneath our presentation today. And there are some orders already coming in because Natalie's reputation precedes itself. These dinner in a box plates are yours to keep. They're not rentals, so no need to clean and send them back. She drops off different tablescape designs every few days. So be sure to check her website to see what is available in this dinner in a box. I love that idea. So if you want to be one of the first to get in line to secure your dinner in a box before they officially launch, make sure you go to luxfet.com. You'll see that there are themes. Here is Frida Kahlo. Here's a French provincial theme. There are giveaways also happening. Again, go to luxfet.com. This is such a very exciting and such an innovative business model during the pandemic. Here's a significant quote here that says it all about Natalie. Natalie Cadet James of Lux Fet Event Planning and Design Studio, who's masterminded events for the likes of Hillary Clinton and Gucci, knows that an attention-grabbing table design sets the stage for everything from social soirees to intimate dinner parties. Natalie says that she creates a setting as if she's telling a story. I've been fortunate to be at many of her events, and it really is the minute you walk in, it tells a narrative like no one else can tell. She is beautiful inside and out, and really is an inspiration of someone who's followed her passion and manifested her dream. She's a lawyer by trade, but said, you know what, this is my passion. And Lux Fet has taken off internationally. I urge you to follow her on all social media outlets and get in touch with Lux Fet. Go to luxfet.com for Natalie to plan your next event and get on the list for dinner in a box. Be the first to know. This is so exciting. I'm really excited for her.
Yeah, it's very exciting, Carla. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. See you then.
See you then. And now to my next co-host. He's a private and personal chef. He's also the host of Tasty Island on American Public Television. So, Chef Irie, how are you tonight?
Hey, Nicky, what's going on, girlfriend?
I'm happy it's Wednesday. How you doing?
Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Yes. Salud. Yes. And today we're having a blue ting. Yes. We just call it blue ting because I just want to call it blue ting. But so we have gin, vodka, rum, tequila, triple sec, and blue curacao with a splash of lemon juice.
Wow.
Yes. So what are we talking about today? So we've gone through the holidays and we've cooked, we've stored, and we have leftovers and crowded fridges and crowded freezers. So, so I don't know if your fridge looks like this, but I know quite a few people where, that their fridge does look like this. The fridge and the freezer. So you have all this stuff, in Tupperware, in foil paper, whatever it is, it's just containers full of stuff. So one of the bad things that we don't do when we're doing leftovers is we don't label them for a lot of people. But if you're that kind of person and you have, a refrigerator and a freezer that looks like this, you have no idea what's what, when it was in there, and if it's good at all. So so one of the things that you want to do is making sure that you label your goods when you put them in the freezer or the refrigerator, especially in the freezer, because sometimes those can take a while before we get back to them. Now, when you're going back into the freezer or the fridge and you're like, okay, how long has this been here? Well, if when in doubt, throw it out. Okay? If it doesn't look good, throw it out. If it doesn't smell good, throw it out. If it's been in there for longer than 7 days, especially the fridge, throw it out. Okay? When you put stuff in the refrigerator and a freezer, you want to make sure that they're covered, that there's a lid on everything, or it's wrapped in plastic. Smells in the refrigerator definitely get into cooked foods. And of course, if it's uncovered, bacteria does grow in your refrigerator. Yes, it doesn't matter how cold it is, bacteria does grow in your refrigerator. Now, when you've decided you want to clean out your refrigerator and your freezer, you've emptied it out, you can clean the refrigerator naturally using baking soda or vinegar. All right. So not only can you use the baking soda in warm water, but after you've cleaned the refrigerator, put back some of the things in, and it looks nice and organized, you can put a box of baking soda, and they sell them in the stores, and they have the dates on them that you can put in date and remove by date. Usually it's 30 days, and you change them out every 30 days. Now, one of the good things about cleaning out a refrigerator and you have leftovers is that you can make anything you want, soups and stews. So today, I didn't actually clean up my refrigerator, but a friend of mine asked me, could I make for her something with potatoes and lima beans? Well, guess what I had in the freezer? Lima beans. Guess what I had in the freezer? Buttermilk seasoned chicken. So we made a chicken stew with lima beans and a potato base as a puree, your usual suspects, onions, garlic, scotch bonnet, herbs, and chicken stock. So that's what you can do with your leftovers. Most of us I know don't like them, but you know what? If it's in the fridge for 2 days, it's gonna taste better. That stew peas, that roast chicken, it's gonna taste good. So
well, I love leftovers. So
those are some of the tips for your freezer and your leftovers. And if you haven't, you're gonna have a little party, invite a brother over. Sometimes chefs don't always be cooking. I'm just saying.
All right, well, Chef Irie, thank you so much. Enjoy your drink.
Yes, and everybody buy my book, Taste the Islands, Culinary Adventure in the Caribbean Kitchen on Amazon.
All right, we'll see you next week. And now to our special guest. She is a philanthropist, luxury realtor, and the cast of Love Goals on OWN TV. So Theresa Bowe, thank you so much for being our special guest tonight. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Thank you.
Are you keeping warm in this bipolar weather?
I'm from New York, so I'm not complaining at all. This is a lot better.
Okay. So you at the beach then? Okay, I got you. All right, so let's get right into it. So the first question is, how does sports play like an integral part in your entrepreneurial spirit?
Well, sports period, you have to be a team player. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, being a team player is super duper important. You don't realize how much you need other people in business, period, to progress, to grow, to learn, to just do everything. So many people have that, that mindset that is me, 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 me. In any successful business that you see, there's a group of people that have gotten that person there, even if it's just one person. So just being that, and just my competitive nature, I want to be the best at everything that I do. So that definitely exudes in the business world, in the entrepreneurial world. I work hard to be the best. So the competitive nature and the team spirit.
So, I mean, you have different businesses and you're such a hardcore like entrepreneur. So, and you're also a womanpreneur as well. So what kind of obstacles have you had to face along your path?
So many. But the great thing is it didn't break me. It kept me and it made me stronger. But, most people think business and they think I'm going to start a business and I'm going to make all of this money. So that was my first hurdle right there. Like, let me create a 501c3 or let me go to sunbiz.org and create this company and I'm going to be like this business owner and all this money is going to come in, and it's just the opposite. So I never ever worked for anyone since college, and I've been a business owner and on my own since. And it's been a lot of hurdles because a lot of things that's your passion does not pay immediately. So through my passions, I always had to find something to bring in income. So I always just did multiple things. So even at this point in time, I'm just a woman that do a lot of businesses. I don't rely on one source of income.
Wow. No, because I know it's trial and error, right? So it's a risk, but there's really great rewards at the end as well. So this path has like led your destiny to meeting your best friend and your hubby, Delvena Bowe. So how did you guys meet?
So his name is Theresa Bowe. I just want to correct that because, it's
Sorry,
like, but I met him actually, like I said, I've always did multiple things. So my passion in Kansas City was I had a hair store, but it wasn't bringing in a lot of money at first. So I went and got my real estate license, and he got drafted to Kansas City, and I was the first realtor that he met. I was trying to sell him a house. It was no romantic interest, but over time he became a friend, and things kept going. And I say thank God that they did, because he's an amazing guy. And, my passion, real estate, just me being an entrepreneur, definitely led us together.
So tell us about the inception of 501c3, the organization, as far as grandparents raising grandchildren.
So actually, the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren is my husband's organization that he had when we first started dating. He was raised by his grandmother. So he really has a soft spot because he had no, mom or dad that raised him. It was his family that pretty much brought him up, and his grandmother played an intricate part of who he is today. She's up in heaven right now. God bless her. But because him and I both had the same thing, when I met him, I also had a 501c3. It was Love My Hair for Kids. I was helping children that actually was losing their hair because of health issues. Now, both of us dissolved those two 501c3s, and we have one. It's called 82 Ways. And we both love helping people. So we feel like there's 82 ways to make a difference. 82 is his number, his sports number. So we call it that. So it's 82 ways to make a difference. Why choose just one? So we just help now. So it's like our heart is just open to whatever issue it is, just like how COVID just came. We was able to help people for that. So it's not stuck to one specific cause now.
So it's just kind of merge both, I guess, both ideas together to just make it one, basically.
That's just one big, if we can help, we can help.
So now the opportunity came about to join Owns TV, to join the cast of Love Goals. So how did that happen? How did that come about?
Granted, I was so against reality TV. I mean, him and I both, I was like, reality TV, wait. But, I have a PR young lady here, Crystal Coleman. Shout out to her. She's amazing. And she gave me the call and like, what do you guys think about this? We took the interview and we really found out that it was on TV, seriously. And it was like positive. So it was no drama. But more importantly, him and I had never did any type of marital counseling. So just the obstacles we had in our relationship, I was reaching for that because I was at a breaking point in our relationship. And he was like, okay, let's try this. Let's see if it really works. And I just truly thank God that we were both open to this opportunity. We took it because I felt like it changed a lot about, how we look at each other, how we view things, and just like our growth all the way together. So shout out to Crystal for that phone call that day.
So I know, like, being on the cast of Love Goals, it definitely inspired your direction and your movement into wanting to create awareness and change.
Mm-hmm.
So can you kind of go into that a little bit more of how it inspired your journey?
Definitely. Up until that point of Love Goals, it was October. I had never spoke of being molested as a child. It was something that I just felt like I can't change. I am who I am. But I sat on that panel that day, and every single woman that was up there pretty much had been molested, even Julio, who was a guy. And I was in shock. I was the last person they came to, and it just made me feel better about being open about it, because I was like, this is not just you, Theresa, this is everybody. And immediately from there, I just knew that, my voice needed to be heard. Came home, and it was just like immediately from landing back in Miami, I started writing a children's book, because I realized if someone had spoken to me as a child, I definitely don't feel like that would have happened to me. So my daughter was 2 years old at the time, and I spoke to her, and she knew what I was talking about. She knew that no one should touch certain areas of her body. She knew, like, she was able to understand. So that's why I dove into a kid's book, because I feel like if we get to the root of the problem, we'll be able to actually stop it before, a 12-year-old kid like myself is affected by it.
Wow. No, I just really appreciate you just kind of telling your truth and being so transparent, because this topic, it's really sensitive for a lot of people, and for you to be open and to share your story, it will definitely help and save other children that may not be aware of it, maybe going through it. So just a lot of strength and courage, and thank you so much for that.
That's the goal.
Definitely. So what is next for Theresa Bowe?
Oh my God, there's so many things. I mean, when I tell you, I've been this woman that have done a lot of things, and I continue. For one, a curriculum. I brought a curriculum for schools, elementary schools, to help kids, get introduced to the topic of child sex abuse. Also, human sex trafficking is huge in Miami. So it's, they all go hand in hand. Most human sex traffic victims have been molested as a kid, and it's just getting to the core of that. So I'm working on my next books, because both of the books will be a part of the curriculum. I'm going back to real estate school. I actually completed February 15th, and I'm opening up a brokerage here for real estate in Miami. So I'm excited about that. I've been doing real estate for 15 years. So that's a long journey. And we're working on another reality TV show. So we're hoping that it hit the airways before the end of the year is over. So, I mean, it's amazing. Can't tell you about it, but it is amazing. So this is something else. Yes, I'll tell you later. It's really good. But I just did something called Heels and Motivation. I did the first one here in Miami, so I'm doing a 9-city tour with that. The next one is April the 18th in Atlanta, and then May 9th in Kansas City. We're going to Dallas, and we're going to New York as well. But women empowerment, I just love motivating women. I love helping. I love growing, all of those things. So a lot in store.
Okay, so we'll be on standby in the meantime.
Yes.
So what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Well, when it comes to kids, I just want to do all I can right now to prevent any little kid from going through what I went through, what so many people go through, and they lose their voice and they're afraid to talk about it. And I just know if I get to the root of it, child safety is an adult's job. So it starts with us being okay with it. And even when I talk about the curriculum, just how everyone is like so afraid, like, oh my God, I don't know how easy that's going to be to get into the schools. We all know it's happening. There's so many people this happened to, and I'm just like, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop until, parents and schools and, the district is okay with allowing us to educate our kids so we can stop it. So that's the legacy I want to leave behind.
No, and I think it's great. And I watch the news every day, and there's always a story about a security guard or a teacher, like even on the school grounds. So it's good that you're able to bring this onto the actual physical property where it can happen, where it is happening. So I just applaud for that.
It's sad that, when it comes to a topic like this, I do understand like the parents have to have say-so in certain things, but, most of the times it's happening at home. And child molestation always happen with someone that you know. So it's like, we got to get permission within the household to educate kids about preventing themselves from being molested. Is almost, it's gonna be a really hard uphill battle, but I'm gonna fight it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for this fight. Thank you.
Thank you.
What would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
Speak up. Speak up at 4 years old. I would have spoke to myself and said speak up, and I would have educated myself on what could happen, because when I tell you, I'm one of the many that have gotten through child sex abuse, and I'm okay. You know, it's like I can relate to certain things in my young adult life that contributed to me being molested, but like I'm still a strong woman. I've gotten through it, but a lot of women and a lot of men don't. You know, mentally, physically, emotionally, it damages people every single day. So I would have definitely, that's the one thing I would have just embedded in myself: speak up, to keep telling, to not keep a secret, and just, you know, just to prevent it.
Wow, so inspirational, so
Yes.
powerful. Thank you so much. And I just want to say Sunday is a big day. I know what's going on already.
Yes.
So I'm sure you got big plans and everything. So
I mean, this is a true blessing, you know, just to be a part of that organization for the 9 years that my husband was a part of it. And it was some of the darkest years. I mean, some of the worst seasons. My husband had multiple head coaches, multiple receiving coaches. And then just to see how Andy Reid stepped in there and has changed that organization to 2 Super Bowl wins. So you heard me say wins, right? So just to see this happen, it's like history, and it's such a blessing. So I'm saying go Chiefs.
yes, go Chiefs.
Yes.
Well, Theresa, thank you so much again. Very powerful, so inspirational. I'll definitely be following your platform. I can't wait to see what you have next in store with your new initiatives coming out. So thank you again. Have a wonderful night. And go Chiefs.
Ooh, have a great night. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. So this show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery. And next week's guest is none other than Keon Williams, the founder of The Urban, which has hosted artists such as Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, and Gucci Mane. So you don't want to miss it. We'll see you next week. Stay warm. Good night.